Hey everybody, welcome to this lovely Sunday morning session where we are going to be discussing one article from the Hindu. Yesterday's article, yesterday is Hindu, but in today's world. I hope you're having a good time today. It is rather warm in almost all the parts of India, but hey, whatever. Let's get started. I hope I am audible and visible. If I am, I can get started and well, वो तो करना ही है, start तो कर ही देंगे. But let me first get started with my announcements for the day. Here they are. Uh, yeah. So we've got the weekend morning batch for CAT 2022, which is available, guys. You can enroll for it. It starts on March 26th. So that's your first thing that I wanted to tell you, that your batch is here. All right, act quickly. The CAT price rises are happening very soon, guys. A 2-month course right now is costing you 7,000. After the price rise, it will be 7,700. So you are, if you buy your subscription right now, you're saving a minimum of 700 on a 2-month course, right? A 24-month course, you are saving 3,280. There's a lot of saving, guys. Please do make sure you're subscribing right away. Remember to use AbhiCat Live while you're subscribing. Okay, price rise is happening in a big way. So do subscribe right away. All right, exciting news for CAT and NOMET aspirants, guys. I've been telling you this, that a 12-month, 18-month and 24-month subscription will get you a 10% off by using AbhiCat Live. And also you're getting a complimentary campus placement IT jobs offer also. So you will end up saving a lot of money. So for all those who are looking at IT jobs, com science people, yes, this is something that you can do. Okay, the last chance to get into top B schools in 2022 is a 6-month MBA CAT subscription at rupees 5,200 plus hours of recorded content. This is valid till March 31st, 2022. तो एकदम बहुत सारा क्लास है, recorded material पूरा का पूरा है, ले लो और सब्सक्राइब करो. Okay, the last chance to get into the top B schools 22. The target batch Marset is available, guys. You can subscribe to this also. The plus subscription for MBA aspirants is available at huge discounts. A 6-month course at 20%, 12-month course at 45%, 18-month at 54% and 24-month at 60%. Guys, all of these offers are available for you. You can subscribe right away. Also, our iconic subscription is also available, people. For anyone who's planning to write CAT, the iconic subscription is wonderful because not only do you get all the benefits of plus, that is all the classes that you should, you are also getting live doubts, live concept discussion, you are getting live mentorship by top B school graduates also. So there is a lot that is in the offering for you guys, and all of this over a phone call. You can just connect with your mentors over a phone call. You can book the slot. You can also choose the language you want the session in. तो इतनी सारी अच्छी चीजें हो रही है यार, कर लो. Last but not the least, our Ask a Doubt feature is available on our website, guys, now. And what you have to do is click a picture of your question, whatever you have a doubt in, upload it, crop it, choose the language you want the solution in. Okay. Also, then send the question to us. You can ask up to 3 doubts at a go. Also, because like I said, you can get solutions in your preferred language, and as well you can also ask for a review of the doubt. So बहुत amazing features हैं guys जो तुम्हें मिल रहे हैं. Okay, so I hope this is fine with you. All right, let's get started with our article for the day. आज का article हिंदू से है, बहुत प्यारा article है. Let's read it, let's understand it, let's take it forward from here. Remember to use AbhiCat Live when you're subscribing, guys. बहुत ही important चीज है. हो जाता है ऐसा बड़े बड़े देशों में, ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें. All right, चलो. Tempered of course is to be cooled, relaxed, chilled out a little bit. Some angers have to be tempered, seasons have to be tempered and such like thing. Deficit of course means a loss. So there is a deficit of such and such lakh rupees, that is a loss of so much. Disquiet of course means worry. Stopgap is a temporary arrangement. So try not to use any stopgap measures, guys. So any temporary arrangement, something that just fills the gap, that's what you mean by stopgap. Surge of course means increase. So there is a surge in the prices. They have gone up, they have soared, they have increased, they have accelerated, whatever. Laudable of course means praiseworthy. So something that is laudable is well praised. So yeah. So those are our words. बहुत simple words हैं. आज का article बड़ा simple है. अच्छा article है but simple है. कोई complicated words थे नहीं. So here are your words: tempered, deficit, disquiet, stopgap, surge and laudable. Heartening milestone on India's overseas shipments record. So we have shipped a lot of things overseas and it's a record. That's a wonderful thing, right? So what is this record all about? Let's take a look. So the center's announcement that India's merchandise exports have already surpassed the target set for this fiscal year, with overseas shipments crossing a record $400 billion mark by March 21, brings much needed cheer to an economy still struggling to recover from the bruising impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The export rebound, coming on the back of last fiscal's pandemic-induced slump in the global demand, is particularly heartening as the key value-added sectors of engineering goods and apparel and garments have done well, I assume, right? So ekdam bahut acha chal raha hai. Center has said that merchandise exports have already gone beyond the targets that had been set. Overseas shipments have gone a record $400 billion mark ko cross kar liya hai. Much needed cheer because our economy is still recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. Export rebound has happened on the back of the last fiscal. Last fiscal also we had a pandemic induced slump. That Omicron thing had come, right? But this is particularly heartening. It is particularly cause for cheer. We feel happy about it because key value added sectors of engineering goods, apparel and garments have done well this year. So these are important sectors and they're doing well. Engineering goods in particular have registered almost 50% year-on-year growth, while ready-made garments logged a more than 30% increase. So दो sectors जो बहुत अच्छा improve किए हैं, engineering goods यानी production वाली चीजें, ध्यान रहे, and ready-made garments also 30% increase in April to February period, as per provisional data from the Commerce Ministry. So that is a good thing. However, in terms of the sheer scale of increase, petroleum products were the standout performer as global surge in oil prices lifted the dollar value of overseas shipments of goods produced at India's refineries by 150% over the first 11 months of the fiscal. Now, petroleum prices surged in the international market 150% and therefore petroleum products shot up. So this was not because the quantum increase, it was because the money increased. So that was also a good thing. The fact that the export growth has been achieved against the backdrop of persistent logistical challenges, including container shortages and port congestion that have pushed up freight rates, is laudable and reflects the concerted effort made by the government in coordination with industry and the country's overseas missions. So this is good. Despite the fact that our ports are congested, we have container shortages and many other such issues, we have still managed to export a lot. That means that the industry, the government and the overseas offices of India, the envoys, they've all gotten together and pushed to make this happen. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal made a pointed reference to the role played by India's embassies and envoys in exploring new opportunities for Indian products. And so, yeah, like I said, our embassies and our envoys have really pushed our products. And if the current momentum in export is to be sustained in the coming years, if we need to sustain them, the diplomatic corps will need to enlarge their role in trade promotion. So it is now up to the diplomats also to push for our businesses. So that's what we're looking at. Something very interesting. मतलब अभी तक नहीं कर रहे थे, अब करेंगे. और पुश करेंगे मेजर तरीके से. So here is something very interesting. This was a complimentary information, guys. I don't know if you noticed it. Abhi se, now they have to push. That means abhi tak they were not pushing, right? You remember we've been talking about complimentary information, inferential questions ke liye something very, very important. So this is something that you should spot, that if this is happening from now, or we are asking them to do it from now on, that means previously they were not doing it. Anyway, still the cheer of attaining the milestone needs to be dashed by the acknowledgement that multiple challenges persist on the trade front. So we are cheering for the fact that we've achieved this milestone, but we also need to be careful, because we need to acknowledge that there are still challenges persisting. We have many more challenges. Imports have outpaced exports this year. Now this is very interesting, that exports तो बढ़े ही, लेकिन imports भी उनसे ज़्यादा बढ़ गए, almost doubling the trade deficit in the April to February period to more than $175 billion. तो trade deficit बढ़ गया, double हो गया है. क्यों? क्योंकि imports की value double से ज़्यादा हो गई है. तो exports तो बढ़े, but imports और ज़्यादा बढ़ गए. So that's a problem. The gap is wider than the pre-pandemic year of 2019-2020 as well, and points to the pressing need to step up the pace of export growth if the deficit is to be shrunk meaningfully. तो अगर हमें deficit को कम करना है तो हमें exports को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. अगर हमें genuinely करना है तो हमें exports को बहुत बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. While global inflation in commodity prices certainly contributed to enlarging the value of both exports and imports. So because globally inflation has occurred, तो exports की value भी बढ़ी है और imports की value भी बढ़ी है. The fact that project goods were the only item of import among the 30 broad categories listed by the ministry that contracted over the 11-month period is also cause for disquiet. So 30 items mark किए थे industry ministry ने, लेकिन प्रोजेक्ट गुड्स यानी प्रोडक्शन वाली चीजें, वो ही एक चीज है जिसका जो कम हुआ है. ओके, जिसका इंपोर्ट कम हुआ है, यानी कहीं ना कहीं वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू बी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, और न्यू इनपुट इन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज नॉट हैपनिंग. सो दैट्स अ कॉज फॉर वरी. द लैक ऑफ ओवरसीज परचेजेस ऑफ कैपिटल गुड्स, दैट मीन्स देखो भाई, हमने कहा ना मशीनरी की परचेज नहीं हुई है for new projects, is a clear indicator that private Indian businesses are still wary of making fresh investments. So now this is important, that if we are not going to be making capital investments, that means production will not happen. If production is not happening, then industry, manufacturing industry, वो पीछे रह जा रही है, and that is a cause for concern. So, given the lack of momentum in personal consumption, तो personal consumption रुका हुआ है, इसीलिए शायद लोग produce नहीं करना चाहते, और इसीलिए लोग शायद investment भी नहीं करना चाहते. With the war in Ukraine and sanctions on Russia now posing fresh problems for exporters seeking to ship goods to not only these countries but other markets in Europe as well, policymakers must go beyond stopgap measures such as enabling rupee-ruble trade and expedite ongoing negotiations on the raft of free trade agreements so as to at least help lower some of the tariff walls. Now, government really needs to work with other countries, get free trade agreements into place, a number of them, so that we can actually reduce the tariffs and increase our exports, get more capital machinery in so that we can get more production done, because this war in Ukraine is creating a lot of problems. There are sanctions on Russia, so many things, businesses will stop, they are stopping, so those things are happening. So that is something that we need to do. Okay, all right, that was our article for the day. Very interesting article. Economic state pe, these are things that we as business students, you as hopeful to be business students, must keep an eye out for. Let's take a look at our article. What is the purpose of the passage today? Good morning, Yogesh, Mrityunjay, Garv, Gaurav, Satun, Priya, Anjali, Aman, Anveshita, Preeti, Veer. Garv, depends how fast or slow you are. It's about an A1 essay is about 2000 words, so it does take its own sweet time. 20 minutes if you're reading at 100 words per minute. All right, what is the purpose of the passage? To praise the industry for great performance, to castigate the government for tempering exports, to deny the existence of any problems, to point out that exports have doubled, so too have imports. What is it that we are trying to do within this article? Veer, good morning. Khushbu, good morning. Everybody, I hope you have liked the session. अगर अभी like नहीं किया, अर्चित नहीं आया आज. Archit, good morning. Naveen, good morning. All right, let's take a look at our answer. So when you're looking at a purpose question, always look at these words first of all. बहुत सारी चीजें यहीं से clear हो जाती हैं. So is the writer castigating the government for anything? Is he scolding the government? He is not. So let's eliminate B right away. To deny the existence of any problem, does the writer deny the existence of anything? No, he doesn't. So eliminate. So B and C are eliminated. We are only left between A and D. Those are our choices. Is the writer praising the industry for great performance, or is he pointing out that exports have doubled and so too have imports? Guys, उसने praise तो थोड़ा सा किया है, लेकिन industry को नहीं किया है, country को किया है, right? So not praising the industry per se. So eliminate. So best answer D, that to point out that exports have doubled and yet so to have imports. And that's where the problem lies. Okay? So he does say that. So correct answer will be D. I see some D's here. Not a lot. I'm seeing Ajay, Preeti. Garv was my first D. All right. Okay. So D is the correct answer, guys. Let's go to the second question. Each of these is mentioned in the passage except कौन सा mentioned नहीं है. Let's take a look. Trade deficit in the April-February period went up to more than 175 billion. Imports have outpaced exports this year. Overseas shipments crossed a record $400 billion mark this year. Or Indian embassies and envoys have always played a role in exploring new opportunities. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Waiting for your answers. Question number 2. Which is not mentioned. Okay, let's take a look each one. So trade deficit in the April to February period went up more than 175 billion is a mentioned fact, right? So cannot be my answer. Imports have outpaced exports this year is a mentioned fact, cannot be my answer. Overseas shipments crossed a record $400 billion mark this year is also a mentioned fact, cannot be my answer. So yes, Indian embassies and envoys have always played a role in exploring new opportunities. No, this time they have played a role. So correct answer will be D. This is the one that's not mentioned. Here is something that I call a distortion. So when you have something in the passage and text from the passage is taken and a slight change is made, that becomes your distortion, and this is a big, big, big error. So yes, so therefore D will be our correct answer. All right, let's go to the next one. What is the tone of this entire passage? Okay, so author has given you something. What is the tone of this passage? Is he being accusative? Is he being cautious? Is he being neutral? Is he being positive? Now you tell me, what was the writer trying to tell us? Was he being, yay, let's do it? Was he saying, yeah, no, not do it? Was he saying, you are to blame? Was he saying, everything is the way it should be? So neutral. Which of these tones is the writer using? Good morning, Sandhya. Everyone, please hit the like button. No, Tanisha, this is not a quiz session. This is a reading comprehension session. If you had come a little earlier, you could have read the article with us. We read one article every day and then we solve a few questions. This is not really a quiz. It's a reading comprehension exercise. All right, so the tone of the author, the writer was not really being accusative. He was not accusing anyone in the article. So let's do away with this. Was he being very positive? Yes, he was, but only in the first part of the passage. In the second part, he starts cautioning you that, hey, yes, the exports have increased, but the imports have also. There is a war, there are sanctions, there are many, many problems. So be wary of these. So he was not being positive, he was not being neutral. What he was being was cautious. He was cautioning us about the fact that exports haven't really done as well as we think, because imports have done badly, as in they've just increased. Also, he spoke about the fiscal deficit. Also, he spoke about the fact that capital goods are not being imported. That means production nahi hone wala hai. So all of that was in the pipeline, guys. So therefore, be cautious was the correct answer. All right, what is the missing word, guys? Here is your article. One beautiful line which needs to be filled up. Still, the cheer of attaining the milestone needs to be something by the acknowledgement that multiple challenges persist on the trade front. Is it reduced, tempered, castigated, reviewed? Yes, Veer, absolutely. Same type of questions so that you get used to that type of questions. Once you're used to it, I'll move on to another type. I don't know if you notice that. I keep switching around the questions, but for that you have to follow the session for a long period of time. It's not an eeny, meeny, miny, mo game, not that every day I'll give you a different question. No. For a substantial period of time, I give you a particular type of question. So you get used to that. And then I retire that question. So I don't know if you've noticed, January and February, we did a lot of true except, false except type of questions. Now, for now, I've retired them. I'll bring them back sometime later. All right. Still the cheer of attaining the milestone. So there is a cheer. What do you need to do with this? All right. So there is the cheer, but that needs to be balanced with some amount of acknowledgement that there are challenges. So खुश हो लेकिन दुख भी समझो. So you are kind of balancing them. So not reduced, not reviewed, not castigated, tempered, toned down. Tempered means to tone down something. तो जो बहुत excited है ये नहीं. Oh, yes, we should be happy, but we need to be cautious. So you're tempering it, you're toning it down, you're kind of controlling it, you're muting it a little bit. Not mutation, but muting it a little bit, right? What you say, reduce in intensity. Right? We are reducing in intensity this thing. Okay? No, you read Day Hindu every day. Very good, wonderful. Yes, cooled. Yes, Mrityunjay, you got it right. Wonderful, guys. Let's get your scores in. देखिए क्या score आया है आज. अच्छा, by the way, आज कोई session नहीं है. There is no special session also. vocab का session भी नहीं है. आज full day off है. So all you need to do is I have sent out a link of a vocabulary course. It's a plus course, everybody. Yesterday I sent it out in the community, in the groups, everywhere. I want you guys to go through it end to end. It's a 7 or 8 class course. उसको अच्छे से देखो, सब लोग देखो. I want you to work on your vocabulary. अब weekend है, खाली है, बढ़िया है. क्लास इसीलिए नहीं है. So vocab quiz आज नहीं है, open house भी नहीं है. आज सब कुछ off है. Only Hindu today. नहीं, आज कुछ नहीं होगा वीर. Naveen, whatever is the main idea, whatever is that thing that he's saying, वो ही tone पकड़ोगे. All right, scores देख लेते. Ajay has got 3, Garv has got 3, Aman has got 2, Preeti has got 3, Archit 2, Harsh 2, Mrityunjay 3, Anjali, no worries, it's okay. Aman 2, Gaurav 2. Yeah, every day is not the same. Don't worry guys, every day we do something different. हर रोज अलग अलग होता है, तो इसलिए अगर तुम्हारा स्कोर भी हर रोज अलग आता है, कोई बात नहीं, अभी तो तुमने स्टार्ट किया है. So if you've just started, it's perfectly okay. Take your time. 3-4 months is good time for improving on your vocabulary. Some people take on your reading comprehension. Some people take a little more time. That's also all right. Okay, announcement time. Remember to hit like, share, subscribe and the bell icon. Like and share, bell icon, subscribe, सब कुछ कर लेना. और हाँ, ये मत भूलना भाई, ये सबसे important है. तो do remember to hit Abhi CAT live guys and get your 10% off. Remember, price rise is going to happen. There's a 10% price rise that we have seen in the chart today. So that price rise is happening. So if you need to be very cautious, careful, you want to save your money, all you need to do is buy your subscription right away. चाहे आईआईटी का हो, चाहे नीट का हो, चाहे बैंक पीओ का हो, चाहे एसएससी का हो, चाहे यूपीएससी का हो, चाहे बिहार पीएससी का हो, जहां का भी हो, रेफरल कोड सिर्फ एक ही है, वो है अभी कैट लाइव. यूज करो, सब्सक्राइब करो. थैंक यू सो मच एवरीबॉडी, यू गाइस रॉक. आई विल सी यू टुमारो. आज छुट्टी है, मैं भी छुट्टी मना रही हूँ. आप पढ़ाई कीजिए, वो मैंने वो कैप का कोर्स भेजा है, बिगिनर्स कोर्स ऑन वोकैबुलरी. प्लीज डू दैट. थैंक यू सो मच. हैव अ नाइस डे एवरीबॉडी. आदियोस मेरे अमीगोस.